Hello, happy Friday, and welcome into Royal Bettors. I'm Jaric, that's Jake, and we got a three-game slate in the NHL to talk about today. Now, it hasn't been pretty, especially for me in the NHL. Now, he's got 9 and 16. He's hit a lot of live bets. He's come through with some props. Now, I'm 2 and 16, and my sides have been terrible. My best bet, at least I hit one of the best bets. I mean, I know some people went 0-3 on their best bets yesterday. So, I mean, everybody's taking it to the chin here in hockey season, but we have three games to talk about today. We'll break down yesterday's real quick. And before we do that, if you like what you hear, even though we're struggling, be sure to give us a follow on Twitter
Yeah.
at Royal Bettors. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. You see our little names in our boxes there. You got something to say, Jake?
Yeah, it'll be tough. I feel
We
like
need
a
a
lot
little
of
bit
people
more of a
bet it.
feel. A lot of the stuff, because we're basically going off of like season predictions almost, like how we feel like the season's going to play out, I feel, when we bet these. And it's just not working out that way at the moment.
But if you like, I mean, I feel like I'd be like 9 and 10, and you'd be 2 and 10, and that doesn't look as bad if we just ignored the Rangers and the Canadians, because those two
That's
teams have
true.
put up or like hurt us a lot. And like the funny thing, you text me last night, you go
We've each bet them
Saturday.
twice.
And when you said you were like Saturday, Rangers, Canadians, something has to give. Like
Literally.
we're gonna pick one of them. We're probably gonna be
What
picking
even
wrong,
like
but
stung more about yesterday is I talked on the show about how I liked a lot of goals in Florida, Pittsburgh didn't do anything, and some of the props. The goal scorer props didn't even come through, but for DFS it worked out. Um, Senators worked out. Columbus annihilated Arizona, and I just didn't have the
a lot of
balls to
things
bet
that
it.
we talk about happen, but we don't bet them, and we just
Right? Like,
discuss
I
them.
don't know.
Like I said, like I didn't bet over in Pens Panthers. It happened, Like I didn't bet over in Tampa Wings. It happened. Like I don't know. It just
Did you
feels
bet the
like we keep.
over in Habs and Canadians? Because I went over 5.5.
I did
Or
not.
Habs and Sabres. I said Habs and Canadians.
No, I just hit prop bets on that one, except for
Okay.
Habs money line didn't pull through.
I mean, yeah, Habs, they just put up another stinker. A lot of people, I saw people who knew it too, and I had a feeling it was a trap game. I said it, but I mean, that price against Buffalo, I fell for it. I
Yeah,
admit, that's a bad bet. That one was a bad bet.
yeah, that's the definition of a trap game. Just like Tampa with the Penguins. Like,
The Tampa, dude, I can't back Tampa until further notice. Even though they
yeah,
came back
right.
and
We
won that
last
game,
night was insane. Like,
like Detroit, I know is gonna be all right. Like I'm not exactly like surprised by it. It's just like I thought they'd show up better for their sake, not that Detroit's a good team.
yeah,
Tampa,
if you look at the third period minutes, I'm pretty sure Kucherov was like above 10 minutes. He was out there every time I looked at the screen. I'm just like, how is he still
and
out there?
that goal that went in the first period for Larkin, like it just leaked through Vasilevsky. Like he
Yeah.
thought he had it. It was almost like that goal that got disallowed in the Stanley Cup final, Pittsburgh Nashville. How Nashville thought they scored, but the whistle quote unquote went. That's what should have happened. What happened with Detroit yesterday?
Oh, because he was holding it, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, the ref lost sight of it. Yeah. So the one bright spot yesterday, the Seattle Kraken, at least for me, they were able to come through, get their first win in franchise history. Barely. Nashville came roaring back there at the end, but they get it done. We finally get a win on a side there, full game side. They'll start coming. I know they will. I have faith in myself. I know that I know the sport. Jake's
Yeah.
doing better than me. He's got 9 wins. I know it'll
Yeah,
come.
with that Kraken game, I also got that EOC anytime
That was
score.
a really good call. That was
Yeah,
a really good call.
I was really happy with that one, and it happened on the power play. I mean, I talked about it power play wise, but I bet it just regular. Either way, I felt like those active defensemen during Kraken games come through, so stick with that one.
All right, so that was yesterday's slate. More difficulty for me. Jake gets a little more in the win column. We're working our way back to 500. I know I'll get there. As for tonight, we'll start things off with the Blackhawks and the New Jersey Devils. Now Hawks are $1.15 favorite or underdog, and all the boosts you mentioned are on New Jersey, and boosts kill. And that's
Yeah,
not exactly where I'm leaning here. I mean, New Jersey's without Mackenzie Blackwood in goal. Damon Severson's not going to play, so they're dealing with some injuries. And I think the Hawks just have a ton more size than New Jersey. Like, that's my one knock with New Jersey. They just don't have the size to compete with teams bigger than them.
yeah. I like New Jersey though. Like I like
Yeah,
the core of the
I think that
team.
they can
Like
make some noise later in the year.
they have like a defensive core now, and I like Blackwood. I mean, they're there, but I mean, we're Hawks fans. But also, I really like the Hawks tonight for that way. At being at plus money, I'm not sure why, to be honest. Like, I feel like the Hawks are being
I don't
underappreciated.
know either. The Hawks have a lot more talent on that team than the Devils do. They are being underappreciated. Fleury, ooh. Well, I think Lankin probably is going to get the start in goal tonight, and Fleury will get the start in Pittsburgh tomorrow. But
Oh yeah,
I don't think that changes anything. I'm confident with Lankin
I was
in
gonna
that. I
say
think
yeah.
they'll be just fine. I
I think
think the Hawks, it's
my
special. I think this game's going to come down to special teams because both of these teams have awful penalty kills. So I think it'll come down to who's going to be
yeah.
able to keep
I
the
in
puck out
my
of their net on that
talking
regard.
about DFS with that. I mean, I have Seth Jones and Dougie Hamilton going tonight. I think you mentioned that penalty kill. I think they'll be active. So
Hmm.
I have both of them. I got some Hawks players going. But no, my stepdad asked me, he's like, well, we got Flurry now, so we're good, right? And I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, well, what happens when that other guy plays? I was like, Lankinen's good. Like
Right? Did you not
he's
watch him
only
last year? I know he
yeah,
did.
he's literally he was a rookie last year and he had to play like 50 games and still did what he could, like not 50 games because it was only a 50-game season, but
Yeah, I know what you
35
mean.
games out of it, like the
Yeah.
majority, and he stood on his head for most of them. So we'll
Yeah,
take
so I like
Lankin.
the Hawks tonight. I just think down the middle, New Jersey. I don't like. I like Hughes. I like Heisher. I just don't think that they're good and like. I just don't think they're big enough, and that's what I think is going to hurt the Devils down the stretch. Like I like those guys as players. I just don't know if they're going to be the big time guys. And I like the Hawks coming off a loss. I think they're going to want to get in the win column. New Jersey's definitely a team that they'll be able to take it to, and at an underdog price. I mean, I wasn't afraid to bet him against Colorado. Why would I be afraid to bet him tonight?
100%, yeah.
All
All
right, so we
right.
both like the Hawks. I like Kubalik anytime scorer too. That's the only goal prop I like tonight. He's plus 230. That's the only prop I'm going to be touching. So I'll go ahead and give that to you guys now. So I like Hawks money
My
line and Kubalik plus 230.
my two guys I'm feeling, I mean, like I have them in my lineup, but like I said, I feel like if I'm putting guys in the lineup, they're gonna be putting the puck in the like on goal and hopefully
Yeah.
scoring a goal. But like I said, I have Seth Jones. I think he'll be active tonight with I mean him and Hamilton are kinda gonna go head to head, I think. And Hagel, just because I love Hagel and he's the hardest working dude out there on the ice every time. Every time you look and there's someone flying with the puck, chipping it in and then getting it himself 24/7 down the ice. So hopefully he'll get
I
his
like it.
opportunity and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the Seth Jones shot prop's interesting. What's it at?
Oh,
You
you're
know?
right, yeah. I can check
Why you
the
look that up? I'll just say I like Kubalik basically because I'm gonna ride this goal streak. I think once he gets going on the power play and they look to be feeding him a lot, I think he's gonna be dynamite. He's gonna let one tease go every single game. I'd bet Kubalik probably to score every game for the first 10 games.
yeah, he was hot in the beginning and then it's like they figured him out or something. Like they I don't know.
Teams
He
just
kind of
adapt to what the teams do on the power play. People are gonna
yeah.
do other stuff.
Because he reminds me, like I know it sounds stupid, but he does remind me of Ovechkin when he does that.
Because
Like,
hey, watch, I'll say I don't really like DeBrincat tonight because of that wrist injury, even though he went back out there and played. I would just kind of be wary of that. But watch, he'll probably score tonight just because of that. Like F that theory.
yeah, maybe
Did
we
you
can
find the
do.
shot prop?
They only have DeBrincat, Hughes, and Kane right now.
It's
They only
9
have
a.m.
three.
That's probably why.
They only have three for each game. It's kind of weird. But those power play points, those are always a good look,
Mm-hmm.
especially like you said with the bad penalty kill.
All right. You got anything else on the Hawks, or are we gonna move on over to the East Coast real quick?
All good.
I guess we were just on the East Coast because that game does take place in New Jersey, but we'll go just a little bit to the Southwest and head to Philadelphia, where the Vancouver Canucks will take on the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, I hammered the over at 6 in this. I liked it at 5.5, and I was gone before I even took a chance to bet. It's at 6.5 now, plus 100. I think we're going to see goals in this one. I think we're going to see them often. And I said I like Kublik's the only player prop I like. Maybe I take a flyer on Patterson, Giroux, or Atkinson. I mean, that's about all I touch. I think it could be madness in the Vancouver Philly game in terms of like it could be bottom six, it could be, the top guys going. Like I just think there's gonna be a lot of open ice in that one early on. I think it'd be 2-1 right off the bat. First period over is too juiced for me. I don't want to touch that. And I don't think either team's gonna really settle in right away. And
Yeah,
that's how I think this game is gonna be played. Vancouver with the long travel, they might not have their legs early. Philadelphia jump over them. But I think
yeah,
Vancouver will definitely get their licks because Vancouver is going to be really good.
yeah. Personally, I actually don't like the first period over, anyways, even though it was juiced, which turned me off on it more. But I do like the second period. I like that first period to be a little slow and, like you said, Philly's trying to get a feel for the game. Vancouver not gonna. I don't think they'll come out hot out the box. So hopefully that doesn't go too far over. But I do like the second period over. Probably more of a watch the first period, see how it looks, and
Right.
bet the second period. But and then I also like the over in the whole game. My guys, my player props, I guess you'd say, but I also just like them in DFS too. Cam Atkinson, I mean, I feel like he shoots the
I
puck
was
every
just
chance he
about to
gets.
say I might end up saying F and putting Atkinson on my player prop card.
Yeah, every time. I feel like, I mean, with Columbus, every chance he got, he'd shoot the puck and he'd score almost every game. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how that goes. And then Patterson for Canucks, he played really good last game. He was man in that power play unit too. Took a lot of shots there. And then my guy also, Couturier. I mean, he's a stud. I think.
Coots.
What's up?
It's like Coots.
Yeah, literally.
His nickname.
And then I'll talk about that when DFS comes around because that's only DFS wise. But yeah, for sidewise, I don't know. It's gonna be close. And then I feel it's gonna be a high scoring game. I would think, unless Carter Hart plays how we hope he plays.
Right.
But
I think it's going to take a couple games for Philly to kind of get that figured out. I think they play the Kraken either next or a couple games. And I think that'll be a game where the pace will kind of settle down late in the game and they'll be able to kind of figure out what they want to do.
yeah, they have
I
a
know the
lot of
Kraken,
new.
them Kraken first periods, I'd look out. It seems like they've been going over already.
Yeah,
Same with
and
Vegas, both those teams.
Philly's got a new, like a bunch of new players, so they gotta figure out how to mend together.
Hmm. All
And
right, so
go.
I like the over in Philly. We both like Cam Atkinson to score, I think. So I think that's both going to end up on both of our official like props. And I lean Pedersen. I'll probably end up adding that too. So we kind of like the same stuff in that game. I kind of like the first period over. It's too juiced. Jake doesn't like it. So we disagree there. One last game on a short 3-game card. The Minnesota Wild open up their season at the Anaheim Ducks. Now, I'm going to pass on this game after what I saw from the Ducks the other night. I know John Gibson's one hell of a goalie, and he could take a game and completely flip what anyone thinks of it on a dime. And I mean, Minnesota in their season opener, they dominated that whole Pacific Division last year when they went out west. I'm just not going to touch it now, though. I kind of like Minnesota in a couple spots against LA, in a couple nights against LA. I'm just not, I'm going to stay away from their season opener.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I don't know what they're gonna be like. I'm not big on them this year, but I do think they come out pretty fast. I mean, I feel like they're that type of team that gets on that ice and is gonna start skating real fast, and the Ducks aren't gonna be ready for it. They're gonna feel ready for it, but I feel like they won't be. So I do have a lean on Minnesota's first period,
Mm-hmm.
but like you said, I don't know. It's hard to predict a game when you haven't even seen the other team, but you've seen one team.
Right, that's what I've determined now. I thought,
Like with the Penguins and the
last
Panthers,
year it went all right, and this year I'm really getting
yeah.
dumpstered.
Like with the Penguins Panthers game, like it's not really what I expected. I mean, I expected the Panthers to go up 2-0, not it to be 2-2 and then 4-2 and they're down. I'm like, where'd they go? And they ended up coming back and winning the game because that's Florida for you. But going along with the wild first period, I do like Fiala to get a goal. I just think he's gonna be a fast, sneaky guy that can get in on Gibson and put one in. Other than that, don't got much else. Ducks plus 1.5. Always like that in a parlay.
They always, because Gibson, man, that's the X factor.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, Gibson's highly underrated. And
All
then,
right.
like, I was looking at the defensemen for the Ducks again, like, who could score, but there's too many of them that pose a threat to scoring, so I stayed away from that.
All right, so there we have it, a 3-game card in the NHL. I'm on the Hawks money line. I'm on the Flyers and Canucks over. And that's all. Got a couple player props. Kubalik for sure. Probably going to add Atkinson and Pedersen. Smaller card today, and I probably should keep it a little smaller, to be honest, going forward.
Right. Yeah, yesterday I bet a lot, I know that for sure, but it wasn't a bad day. I think I broke even, like, I think of what, 4-7? No, I bet 7 things, no way. I was at 9 yesterday, no? Yeah, I think 4-7,
I'm
but,
pretty
like,
sure I'm 2-15 to be exact, because I only had 6 plays yesterday. Won one of them, and I was 1 and
I
10,
thought
so I
I
should be
counted.
two and
Yeah, you were
fifteen.
at 10.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
right?
right, maybe then.
Yeah.
I don't know, for whatever, I guess I can't add. Yeah, but I'm also on the Hawks money line. I'm liking scoring in Philly Canucks. I don't know if I'll bet it, but I'll probably like that second period over as well but I would want to watch the first period to see if I'm actually feeling that. And
Mm-hmm.
then I like the Wild to come out pretty quick and get at least one on the Ducks.
All
Other than
right.
that, all good. Got some player props. I guess I can discuss my DFS lineup real
I was
quick.
gonna throw it over to you for DFS because I know you had some strong opinions.
Yeah, I got so I got Patterson and Atkinson as 2 guys for that Philly Canucks game. Uh, and then I talked about how liking Dougie Hamilton and Seth Jones because that penalty kill, and I think they'll be very active tonight against these guys. And then my one of a cheap he's not cheaper. He's on the cheaper side, like 4,000, 5 or 4,000.
If it's who I have at center with Pedersen, I'm a scream.
Probably not.
Okay.
It's not center, but JVR, James Van
Okay.
Riemsdyk, he's
No.
he's always finding the back of the net, and he's on one of the lower lines, so he gets to play with the bottom 6 of the Canucks, and he's also on the top power play unit for Philly. Plays the left wing on the top power play, so I don't know. He seems to always be finding the back of the net. There's gonna be lots of scoring, so I thought he was a good cheap option. And then I have the 2 best players that played in the Hawks' last game was Kirby Dach and Brandon Hagel. So I got both of them in my lineup. They play on a line together, so there's a little line stack right there. And the way they played last game, I think they deserve a goal, and I think it'll come
Especially
tonight.
Kirby, man.
Yeah, Kirby had
Kirby
so many
deserves it.
opportunities. And then my last guy is gonna be I talked about Fiala, liking Fiala against the Ducks. Hopefully he gets in on the inside of Gibson there and chips one in. And then I have Lincoln in that goal.
I had the same thing, so that's where I'll start for my DFS lineup. You want to go through yours again in order real quick, just so people.
I got Pedersen, Doc at center, and then Fiala, Atkinson, Hagel at wing, and then Hamilton and Jones at defense, Lincoln at goalie, and JVR is my final utility.
All right. So like I said, I got Kevin Lankin in goal as well. I was gonna play either hot goalie either way. That's the only one I really trust. I would play Gibson, but also it could be like 5-1 Minnesota. So you kind of worry about that. I like the Hawks to win, so I'm gonna go with Lankin in goal. And it'll probably get close to 30 saves too. The Hawks defense, I know it was Colorado, but they gave up some high quality chances. Still, hopping over to the centers here, Elias Patterson. I completely said that weird. Elias Patterson. So I like him at center. He played awesome against Vancouver. I think he's gonna get his shots. He'll probably get on the score sheet. I like Tyler Johnson also at center. I think at center here for the Hawks, he's right in front of the net on the power play. I like this power play to get its chances. Maybe Kubalik ends up shooting a rocket and it gets tipped in by Johnson. They've been going to him a lot in front of the net through the preseason, trying to get Johnson to score on that redirect. So I like Johnson there in front of the net. I like Kubalik for the same reasons that I liked it against Colorado. On that power play, he's going to let a rocket go from the right dot. And I think they're going to keep setting him up. He's going to get his chances. I'm going to ride Kubalik, to be honest, for the first 10 games, like I said, unless he falls off here in the next, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So Kubalik at wing, Atkinson wing, because I think he's going to end up having a strong first game with the Flyers, and he's going to roar down that right wing like he always did with Columbus, and he's going to fire pucks on net. I think if you could find a shot prop too, that might not be a bad one. So I think Atkinson. Here's one that people might not talk about. Igor Sharangovich. People probably forgot about this guy.
I
I think the
almost picked
Hawks.
him.
Lankin is not going to get a shutout. I know that. And if he does, awesome, right? I think Sharangovich is the one devil that he's cheap. I could afford him. And, he's going to be on the power play. He's on that top unit, line and power play. I think that's probably the best bet. I wouldn't go with Hughes yet. I think Sharangovich, he's probably going to be one of the more hotter Devils to start the year. He was last year. He kind of killed me early, and that's how I learned who he was. So I like Sharangovich early on in the season. Utility, before I get to defense, I put Claude Giroux in there. He's going to be all over the ice tonight on that top line, and he'll be on the top power play unit. And I think the Flyers in general are going to be almost like the Panthers yesterday in terms of, shot production, shot quality.
Dude,
That game could be 4-4.
I feel like it'd be the exact same type of game. Literally, 2-2 or 2-0, 2-2, 4-2, 4-4. That's
right?
exactly how it feels.
I wouldn't even doubt that one bit. And then at defense, I like Ryan Ellis. First game with the Flyers. You said yesterday how with him being gone in Nashville, it's going to help Yossi. Well, I think being in Philadelphia now, he's going to have that, left that man on the power play near the point. I could see some one-timers being ripped on goal. Flyers are going to get pucks on that. Maybe he gets an assist. Maybe he finds the back of the
All
net.
6 Flyers, I feel, all 6 of their defensemen can put up points. Dude, I was looking at it. I was like, which one do you pick? I don't know. But.
And then I was going to go with Quinn Hughes, but I decided to go with OEL for the fact that he's on the top power play unit. That was my deciding factor. Now, you could probably go with either guy. I went with Hughes last time and it worked through. OEL scored last game. I'm going to just kind of go with OEL tonight, but I like Hughes as well. So I'm not really going to, if you're going to take Hughes instead of OEL, I'm not going to, be like, trash on that one bit.
I thought the same thing, but I didn't want to be wrong, so I just stayed away from it. I didn't want to pick one and have the other score. But also, you did have 7 bets yesterday.
Did I?
Yeah. Damn. So I was right, but it's okay. We'll work at getting that back.
The Rangers first period. I did. I forgot about that one. That was the one I didn't think about. So I had the 2 Tampa ones, the 2 Montreal ones, and then Rangers money line and Kraken. I forgot about the first period over.
Rangers money line and Rangers first period over.
Makes sense.
Damn.
All right, best bets. Literally, that's what I'm gonna type again. #fade away.
I have no idea what your best bet is, but I feel like there's only one way to go for me tonight, and that's with the Blackhawks money line.
And honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with me going with the same thing on a small slate.
Let's go with the same thing so we can both get a best bet win here.
Right. I think the Blackhawks come through tonight. I don't think that there's any reason they should be underdogs with the type of, talent that's on these 2 rosters. And I think they're definitely going to clean it up. To be honest, that first period was the only reason they lost the last game. If they cleaned it up for the most part after that, and they came back in the shot count too. So I
Yeah.
think the Hawks will find a way to get it done against a team significantly. I mean, I don't want to say New Jersey's worse. I mean, they're worse, obviously, than Colorado, but I don't want that to be like a knock. It's just like they're definitely a lesser opponent.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think I threw a little yeah, I did. I threw a little money on the Blackhawks first period. That was doing it did good last year. I mean, at least for the overs, but we Hawks were always scoring a goal. 5 minutes into Brinket's got a goal. It was like it just would happen. And so I like them in the first period too. I didn't really talk about it much, but especially coming out against they've already played and Devils haven't, so
Hey,
maybe
all the
let's
teams
go
that
up.
played a game against a team in their opener yesterday
Yeah,
lost.
lost. Yeah, I know. That was kinda scary, but
I know.
except for the Kraken,
The crack.
everybody else lost, but Kraken won it. Other than that, yeah, our best bets are gonna be the same as Blackhawks money line. Blackhawks fans, I mean, what can you expect? But I think
It's
it
all
does.
right.
I
Yeah. Well, we picked the Blackhawks. It's not out of bias, to be honest. It's because we actually think it's gonna happen.
yeah, you'd like to bet
Truly.
against them, and when you bet against them, you're wrong. So
I know, I am. It killed me 4 times last year. I
yeah,
decided to
dude,
like, all right,
every time you
I'll
would
tell
bet
you guys right
against
now,
them.
I'm betting against them in Philly, at Washington, at Tampa Bay. That's all I'm
So
doing.
bet the Hawks those 3 games.
Hey, well, they haven't won in Philly since '94, so we'll see how that goes.
Right. Either way, it's just funny because you would be like, "Dude, it's happening tonight. No way the Hawks hang." And then
Dude,
it's
last year that game against Florida, like right at the
I was gonna
start
say
too,
the
like
Florida one,
it
dude.
was like
You
two
bet the
nothing
puck line
Panthers and they
too, right?
tied it right away. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you bet the puck line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
man. All
go
right.
Hawks tonight.
Let's go
Hopefully
Hawks.
our
Thank you guys for
DFS
watching. You can
catches.
follow. Yeah, hope the DFS. Okay, I did really good in that yesterday. I finished in the top 150 out of 1,500 people in that single entry.
Yeah, I should
Cash
have,
$4.
but I played the wrong goalie. I should have followed you with
Elvis.
Lincoln
Yeah.
or whoever was in. Yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Those of you who watched it live, those of you who will watch this as a video, and let's turn this puppy around. I said this yesterday, we couldn't turn it around. I'm confident with the Hawks tonight. This over keeps going up in Philadelphia, so I hope I got the right number on that. And yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow at same time, 9 a.m., right, Jake? It's the weekend, so
We can honestly go whenever. I don't work.
I don't work either. All right, we'll stick to 9 a.m. Maybe we'll put out a tweet saying it's 10 a.m. We'll stick to the morning show because there is a noon game. So we will do
Oh,
that.
so 9 a.m.
Yeah.
it is.
All
Lock it
right.
in.
So we'll be
Well,
here
we
at
can do
9
10.
a.m. for you.
We can do 10 or 11. 10.
Yeah, we could do 10 because I don't think Puck Time's live. I don't want to overlap with them, but I don't think they do weekends. So,
Yeah, they don't. So we're good.
okay. So 10 a.m. on the weekend. And you guys could all follow and go hang out with the Ice Guys, our good friends, right after that. And yeah, hope you guys have a good Friday. Cash some bets, make some money. Follow us on Twitter at Jaric_Rubel11, at JakeAlder19, at Royal Bettors. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a like, and we're gonna turn hockey season around, guys. Don't you worry one bit. A lot of our faithful are right now. We'll get
The
there.
props are at least hitting it for some of
Hope
us.
you
So
guys tailed those Columbus props yesterday.
yes, 100%.
All right, we've
All
been Royal
right.
Bettors. We'll catch you tomorrow.